this, okay? I came here tonight to support Gerry. I had nothing planned, but this is the first time I've really actually learned a lot about this arena thing. I know it was coming. I have not watched the news at all, any channel, any news for over 2 years now, nothing. I live a great life. Everybody is worried about everything in the world. I don't worry about anything. That's me. What I do know is everything in business, if you own a business, if you run a city, I always kind of equate it to owning a home. I'm sure most people here are probably homeowners, right? Who owns a home? A lot of people own a home. On the way here today, I started thinking, okay, they're building this arena. I had no idea about what the cost is or who. Like I said, everything I learned here tonight. But I always equate everything to owning a home and managing a home. So say you own a home, you've had your home for 25, 30 years. You need a new roof, right? Weeping tiles are leaking, you might have to replace the weeping tiles. Inside the house, yeah, carpet's worn out, needs paint, cupboards are falling apart, probably, you know, the house needs a major makeover. And right now I look at this city of Sudbury, and it's falling apart. I have never been anywhere in this province that I've seen roads as bad as what we have. Nowhere. And every single person that I hear and talk to that drives on these roads, that's their number one complaint in this city is the roads. But nobody seems to be listening. Nobody. All right? So now, if I owned a home like that and everything's falling apart, the dumbest thing I could do is to say, man, oh man, I'd like a $75,000, $80,000, $100,000 pool in the backyard. Yeah, so what, the roof leaks and the basement leaks and the house is falling apart, but I want a pool. Man, I'm going to build a pool. So I go out and I build this pool, which is, to me, I'm equating this to, this is the pool for, you know, if you took this money and you just fixed, I mean, all the infrastructure is falling apart, everything is falling apart. You got to fix what you have and not keep adding to something that, and everything else is falling apart. If you do the math on this thing here, just the arena part, which blows my mind, that's pretty much $3,000 for every man, woman, and child in this city. That's right off the bat. Let's not even talk about interest for the next 100 freaking years that your grandkids are gonna be paying on this thing. That blows my mind. I haven't been to a hockey game in a few years. I got a grandson now who, on the Timbit team, going to Sudbury Arena. Wow, I'm in. So I go there to watch him play, and I'm gonna say, like, I'm gonna guess 1,200 people at the arena. If you can't get anybody to go to a hockey game now, and I know it's not just for the Sudbury Wolves. I know it's for concerts and venues and everything else, but that's the number one thing. When you talk about Sudbury Arena, that's what people think, oh, Sudbury Wolves, right? We're going to, if there's nobody going to that arena, I can't see building a new one saying, oh, all of a sudden we're just going to fill the thing right up again. I can't see that happening. I'm sorry, but this is just about the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. And believe me, when I came here, the $2 coin, I was on both sides because I really had no opinion on this arena other than I kept hearing about it. And I just learned everything about it tonight from Gerry. That's God's honest truth, and scares the shit out of me. The fact that all these other things were promised, yeah, I heard little stories about him here and there. It's like, wow. And then for him, like I said, the most honest guy, the most practical, common sense person out there, is he not, I mean, I don't know if you guys are pro or con to this thing here, but I mean, common sense. Just think of it on a common sense basis. Close the door. And why can't the people of Sudbury, why can't they, again, know anything about politics, but why can't you put something out there that everybody gets a vote on it and says, hey man, yay or nay to spending this kind of stupid money?
I hate to interrupt, though. I did put in that motion, and it was completely denied.
Yeah. Well,
they said, no, that we are going to build this at no stopping, full tilt ahead.
So how do we get it to stop?
There's no such thing as stop that way. I know you built, but okay. Now I want people understand one
Okay,
thing.
I'm gonna sit down anyway.
No,
I said my piece.
It's okay, Bill, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Now, what I want people to understand is, that now this is also another confusion to no end. The yellow brick road is one item. It's one item. One piece. The arena is another piece. You're led to believe, or you want to believe. Again, I'm going to pick on the internet, damn it, that it's all or nothing. That's simply not true. The road is one, the other is a second. It doesn't have to get built. This is not even under construction yet, because we're under the belief that two partners have to come in. They've not come in. They don't even own any property. Will they come in? And I'll tell you who they are. It's Gateway Casinos. It's a company called Genesis out of Brandon, Manitoba, in the hotel business. They're hoping to spend $700,000, convince these two to get in on this, to even build this thing. Now this thing, Gateway backed out of this in the fall. They said, well, we ain't doing this. There's a court case coming up. There's an investigation coming up. They said, we're going to pause. We're going to wait. We're going to see. A cautious business. I take my hat off to them. But it's the city. Full steam. And again, I'm saddened, like Bill, I'm saddened.
It's about time we all know the truth, what's going on.
Well, the truth is always there if you're looking for it, Tony. If you're looking for it, that machine always runs.
The truth.
Well, the truth is there.
The taxes that we pay, we deserve that.
You know, I'm going to be a little sarcastic. I'm at a lot of these meetings, and I look up at that.
Stick together, stop paying taxes.
You know, but I look up in that big room.
Amen.
I look up in that big room. There's not a face up there. And there's not a face.
And minimize the city budget there like every other town in Ontario.
Well, that's because maybe they're at their meetings. Maybe they're paying attention.
Half the employee less than what we have. Half of wages, salary, bonus, and everything else. $200,000-300,000 for our mayor.
Tony, we're going to have to
The
meet.
president of the United States of America doesn't even make that much.
Tony, we're going to have to meet at negotiation times. Sometimes at negotiation time.
Hold it down, Tony, please.
Because I'm not here to discuss salaries.
My blood is boiling.
I know it is, and I know it is, and I appreciate it. Anybody, another question, please.
Wake up to people in Sudbury.
Another question, please.
Does anybody else have a question?
Somebody has a
And
question.
we have in this city, in this world now, freedom of speech. The politicians taking it all away from us.
Tony.
Bob, you have a question?
I have a question, sir. So how long has this been going on, actually?
I'm going to say over 6 years.
Over 6 years.
Yes,
It's
sir.
still continuing.
Yes, sir.
As our city has fallen apart on every other aspect of our water, our infrastructure, our roads, everything else, all the concentration is on this, correct?
Well, it's a strong word about everything falling apart.
Okay, so another question is, we have a mayor and 12 councillors.
Yes, sir.
Besides you and Mark Signoretti and one other one.
No names.
No,
This
okay,
isn't
sorry,
political.
no names, no names.
No politics. I'm just Gerry
Then
Montpellier.
why is it 9-3 that we've been misled when we voted all these people in to be honest with us and work for us?
That you have to ask.
I can't
This is
get
not-
I can't get into that at all. I mean,
Okay.
I can only speak for myself, always
Okay.
only for myself.
Okay.
I'm elected by the good people of Ward 3. They sent me to City Hall as an old man.
Okay?
I don't make any bones about it. They say, Jerry, go get us our frickin' road that's been languishing for 40 years.
Right.
It's MR35. I'm proud of it.
Okay, one other question.
I work for my constituents.
Right.
That's who I work for.
Want to move to Garson?
No, but
So for the 6 or 7 years then, there is no plans anywhere in here, right?
No
well,
plan.
as
Like
much
a-
as political as I'll get,
Okay,
I'm going to say what I prefer.
okay,
This is what I prefer. That kind of money is spent on nice things. I know I sound like an imbecile when I said that. I'm talking about parks. I'm talking about a paint job on the little library, a paint job on the fire hall in Dowling, that kind of thing. I'm talking about fixing the pavement, the sidewalks. I'm talking about that.
Right.
That makes a great community.
Exactly.
A great community is little parks.
Right.
Things to go, not high user fees, not cutting services.
Right.
And this, again, the thing runs, so it's not like I'm breaking any secrets here, getting political, okay? I have always voted against service cuts, high taxes, and I am going to make my opinion. These service cuts and high taxes and service cuts again, and cuts to the buildings is only to feed that frickin' elephant. That's how I view it. Because that elephant needs more money. More money, more money, more money, more money. Because in the end, when that thing was to go forward, Gateway said no. I'll give you a little secret. It can be seen on the machine. They had no plan. They had no idea of cost. But Gerry, full steam, with no cost. No cost. Who the hell does anything without a cost? They had no cost. They had no print. And again, as Paul said, the architect, well, you can't run monster trucks there. It's a single 85 by 200 or a hockey arena.
So just a ballpark figure, how much, every year this lasts longer and longer, how much is the rates for the taxpayers actually going up?
That's
You don't know that?
That's too complicated for me.
Once we're finished with the questions for Gerry, I'll go through the cost for you.
Point to that.
Okay.
That's where.
All I can say is 2 weeks ago it was accepted by council.
Okay.
That 20% was the norm for hike.
Right.
Okay. Now, again, being in the trades and so forth, it's impossibly in a 2x4, like Tony says. You can't get the damn thing, even if you're going to pay too much. You can't get it.
Yeah.
So now what does that cost? And there's a war that went on since. It's a freaking war. Does nobody know what the hell wars mean?
No.
Nobody's.
Gas shortages, rationing. And it breaks my heart that this thing's still, let's roll.
Well, okay.
Mr. Montpellier,
I'll dodge the potholes to get there.
I
Are there
have
any
a
other?
question for you.
Yes, sir. This is the question, Tony.
I'd like to know why every time you try to come up with something, I read on the paper Sudbury Star every day. You've been exposed by everybody there. Nobody wants to listen to you.
They do not.
They do not.
They do
I'd like
not.
to know that. Why?
Why they don't want to listen to
Because
me?
I also like to know now that a lot of people in Sudbury is not even aware of it. Now, do they have some more $1 million now? The Manley Drive, it was built on somebody else's property.
2 kilometers.
For 2 kilometers now.
2 kilometers.
Where are they gonna get the $14 million and plus another 14 for lawyers?
They just
Okay,
bought-
okay, whoa.
Too much
We
Whoa.
wanna know that,
Just-
guys.
Too much
Whoa.
money. Too much money.
We wanna know, guys. this
Tony.
one. A simple line on the drawing there, they
Tony.
can't even read that. $300,000
Can we get into another question?
salary per year.
Tony?
Can we get into another question?
I have to ask you to leave.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
thank you, I said enough.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Tony.
I said it enough, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
I sure hope everybody wake up in this world.
We do too.
Can we have some more questions, please? Thank you, Tony.
You're quite welcome here. You take
What's your
care.
voice?
Thanks, Tony.
Enough is enough, guys.
They don't know.
Okay, anybody else?
You had one?
In the back.
Yeah, why don't you use a large project on something more important, like ending the homelessness downtown?
I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
See, because in the end, this thing is, now you gotta understand it. I'm not just a guy who says, I kind of don't like this thing. It's got nothing to do with it. I just think it's not worth the money we're paying. This is kind of like, I'm a car guy. This is like paying too much for a 76 Corvette. Okay? That's what it is. It's paying too much. In the end, homeless, of course it's a problem. I drive there all the time. I mean, I see those tents. Of course it's a problem. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not a specialist in that. if you weren't spending that kind of money, could you buy a school? Could you buy an old hotel? Oh, sorry, not an old hotel. Could you buy a hotel? Could you buy a school? Most assuredly you could. Most assuredly. Simple. Now, see what happens too is I'm going to kind of finish up with this and still answer some questions if you have them. I'm just going to get into my own thoughts. When I asked for a referendum, and that's on the behalf of 3,600 people, and it was said, no, you ain't getting no referendum. We know what's best for the people. And I found that a little odd because, see, I said at the time, I said, well, how do you know? How do you know? Or convinced that they're going to say, we don't want to do this. I may be completely off the mark, and I read on the internet, that famous internet. Hey, we have a guy out there that's an expert in absolutely everything on the planet, on that internet. And he tells us that 97% of the people want this. Now, how the heck would I know? Maybe a referendum would have said, we want to own the most expensive hockey arena ever built on the planet. It'll be our star attraction. I don't know that. I possibly don't know that. You know I'm being a smarty pants when I say that. I have my opinion. But I said, what the heck, give him a shot. I think there was a little bit of fear of what the answer was going to be. So yeah, could it go to homeless? Yeah, could it go to this? Could it go to more environmental? Sure. You know, we're in a city, when I say feed the elephant, that's my sarcasm. We're in a city where I'm tremendously upset. Again, you can watch the video. Where they've closed welcome centers. They've closed RV dump stations. Heck, they want to not cut the grass in cemeteries.
They closed the road up by my place.
Close the road by his place. And I'm going to tell you something. One time, again, it rolls. Where did I get thrown out that day? No, I didn't get thrown out because I said the hell with you. And it was called the Core Service Review. It had 57 service cuts, including snow plowing, for the love of Jesus, in Sudbury, Ontario. And here the high chair called it as opportunities to save a couple of bucks. Save a couple of bucks to feed the elephant. See, Mr. Tony's gone, but I believe the city of Sudbury pays more than enough taxes to sustain what we have. It does. It does. City of Sudbury doesn't need any money to sustain itself.
Councillor?
It needs money for grandiose. Yes?
Can I make a comment?
Pardon?
Can I make a comment?
Sure. As long as you don't throw anything at me.
You realize you're the only one that got to cut him off tonight, eh?
Councillor is it on?
Yes.
I'm Gerry.
There we go. No, can you hear me? Okay. Her name is Gerry?
It is.
Hi Gerry, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So, not a lot to say. When the homelessness was brought up, it's a touchy subject.
It is.
All right. I've been around and involved with the homelessness for the last couple of years, even though I'm from Edmonton.
We'll forgive you for that.
All right. Well, you know what? Forgive me for moving to Sudbury. How about that one? On that note, there's not a lot of money being put towards any of the homelessness. As I look at your little clouds, okay, we got Walden, we got Valley East, we got Sudbury, we got Rayside, we got Cape Rail, we got Nickel Center, we got Onaping Falls. Walden, I bet no one is aware, has a high percentage of homelessness.
I do know. I do know. And homelessness, I really can't get into a debate about it because, again, as you know me and some of you know me, And Bob, I inherited Bob when he was a kid.
Well, sorry,
My family, Denise and I, we've raised, I don't know. We raise money. I'm a professional money raiser guy. And we've donated our time in our community. That's how we're going to get to heaven. But I never got into the day-to-day operations. Never did, because in the end, I can understand how to raise $1,000, but I really can't understand the plight that these folks are going
Yeah,
through.
but where is this money going?
The money goes. But I'm talking about private and so forth at a certain church. This is more what I'm into. The city spends zillions of dollars. Where does it go?
It's not going to all those areas.
I'm not going to dispute that because I don't get into day-to-day operations of that
I see
way.
the clouds and I don't see the proper
The proper distribution. You're almost sounding like me. Get your money's worth.
No, it's true.
No, maybe you're not getting your money's worth. No, I mean, the city does spend it. Is it the proper channel?
No, they just go for dinner every night.
Well, I have no idea. I know there's a big committee and on and on and on and on. I'm not part of
See,
it.
and I'm not from here, so I'm not biased.
No, but I'm not part of it. Me, it's simple. What I do is very simple. And when I look back fondly in this room, the last time I was here, I was the auctioneer, and I raised a few bucks for some outfit.
So my point is, I have seen a few homeless scattered to where people don't understand and realize that they are actually in different areas.
Well,
Eddie, could I interrupt you on
No.
this? Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
If I could, you can.
We're off topic here.
And I know, sorry.
That's okay, it was,
I'll,
but let's get back on.
Yeah,
topic.
I'll kind of address Kerry's thing. Yeah, I do know what's out there, and sometimes the homeless that people see on the television, okay, what they see on the news, what they read about in the paper, seems to be centered downtown.
It's not all true facts.
Exactly, it's not a fact. I mean, there's people living out in the wilds. Right here in our city, you know, I'm not going to point at places, but there's places that'll figure right out where people are living wild in our city. They are. You have this vision of what you see at the park. It doesn't end there.
And I'm not going to keep too long, but as for the taxes,
Well, we could spend a whole evening or
On
I
taxes?
can,
a whole week on
but
the
I won't.
homeless issue.
So I just wanted to make that point.
You got it.
That's fine.
Thank you.
It's noted.
Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next.
I think another part of that point was the extra addiction coming into Sudbury.
Well, you're on a different topic.
A different
altogether.
topic,
So-
and it is a problem. It is a problem, and I'm going to tell you, never, ever think that this is unique to Sudbury. Please, don't even think it. You know, when I talk about it, I go to shows everywhere and auctions, and I worked in Philadelphia. I work in Detroit. Trust me, this is paradise. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, you know.
Any other questions for Gerry? No?
So you're getting a price on what this is going to cost. In the foreseen future, nobody knows exactly what it's going to be. In the future, how much is this going to raise our taxes? That is a relevant question.
It is, Bill, and
I wrote a letter years ago, I won't tell you to who it was, to the Prime Minister. Wrote a letter asking him at what point of time in history, because taxes and everything go up, whether it's federal, provincial, municipal, taxes keep going up and up and up, and they find a new law and a new bill and a new this and a new that to put a tax on, whether it's for food or gas or travel or you name it. And I asked him flat out, at what point in time, because I said it's real easy for a mathematician to sit down, at what point in time did we start paying income tax, which was right after the First World War, right? What time to what we're paying in property tax and everything else, at what point in time in history do we pay 100% taxes in what we make? And that's a relevant question. In other words, at what cost will this be to us
Well,
to
I
raise
can't
taxes again?
answer you, Bill, but I'm going to tell you. Do the math. And I can't make you do the math because I don't know the math.
Yeah.
They just borrowed $300 million.
Which I said.
Figure that out. We're 165,000 to live here. 165,000. And here's a statistic you're going to like because I don't have it either correctly. Now, I didn't know this when I talked about 165,000. Do you realize that there's like only about 1/3 that actually pay taxes?
Yep.
The rest are renters. Okay? So now the landlord obviously pays one tax for maybe 300 residents.
The whole building, yeah.
Precisely. And they pay their tax. So that tax is divided into something like 40,000 residents. Now when I talk about this thing, it's just not time for this. It's just not time. Because in the end, the elephant costs about $1 million a year to keep it open. Even after it's done.
So the people at City Hall that want this to go through, that they not know all this stuff, that they, can you not ask these questions to them?
I do. And it seems to be, in all fairness to the people that are elected to council, they see it as a grandiose dream.
I'll go dream somebody else's backyard.
Oh, well, that's not my place. See, I'm a guy, what do they call people like me? Fiscally responsible?
Yes.
What is that the word?
Realist.
Yeah, maybe. Because, we need to be dreamers. We all need to be dreamers.
Yeah, well, use your own money if you want to dream.
You got it, Billy.
Exactly.
Because, I'm going to go back to cars, which is totally not the subject here whatsoever this evening. I have 3 entries at the Motorama. Oh, Denise pissed off. She didn't know I had 3 out there. But anyways, I have 3 entries. 2 custom motorcycles, 1 custom hot rod. I can assure you, every nickel was paid by Gerry Montpellier auto shows. Every single dime. The taxpayers didn't pay to build my dream. And it is a dream.
Same as mine.
Exactly. But I paid the freight. And it goes. So this is what I believe when I pointed to this thing. Why are the taxpayers paying for this road? See, any other business in Sudbury, oh, there's that freaking road again. See, any other business in Sudbury, there's business people in here. You paid to develop your lot. You paid. You paid to have the flowers. They tell you what kind of flowers. They tell you what sidewalk. You're a subdivision guy. Oh, sorry, person. Subdivision person. They're going to tell you what kind of flowers to put, what kind of little parquet to have. Your cost. This deal, all taxpayers' cost. So anyways, it goes on and on. And a lot of this, because, I don't know how long I've been rattling off here, but I'm going to tell you, maybe an hour and a half or something.
About that, yeah.
There you go, fella.
An hour and 20 minutes.
So an hour and 20 minutes. I just walked through 6 years' worth.
Yeah, no kidding.
6 years' worth. Piece by piece. And I have to tell you, I don't freaking blame anybody for being irritated to listen to meetings for 4 hours worth to get 1 word. And then I'll put my word. I'll stand my hand. And then, well, you guys have to watch council meetings to know what happens.
Okay,
But
any other questions?
Yes, any questions?
Mark?
You have any questions, young fella?
Got a comment if I may.
No comments, just questions.
Questions?
Go ahead.
And it damn well better not be political.
It's never political, Gerry. So, I don't know if the mic needs to, everybody.
Go ahead.
We hear you.
You can hear me okay? Okay, so I came here tonight, Gerry invited me here, so I represent Ward 1, which I represent my constituents just as much as Gerry represents.
Your constituent just left.
Yes, I know him very well. I know him very well. He's a paisan of my dad, so.
He's a paisan of me,
Yes, of you as well.
of me.
So I just want to say that a lot of the,
Who are you? Sorry.
oh, sorry.
That is Mark Signoretti,
Signoretti.
Councillor for Ward 1.
Okay, great,
Sorry.
thank you.
Not as good as Ward 3, but close enough.
Second best team.
Second best.
So just some of the comments that Jerry's made, just to touch on. So there's areas in our community, and I forget your name, sir, that
Bill.
you talked about houses, and we got to
Garrison.
maintain our existing infrastructure. So as much as Jerry brings up points, he brings up a lot of valid points. There's other things that, so we look at Isabella, which is in, right down, you go by Giant Tiger. You look at Fielding Road.
Yeah.
Those are roads, infrastructure, that's existing infrastructure that needs to be fixed and needs to be maintained. There's tons of areas you can see where there's already industrial lands that are ready to go and people want to develop and business owners want to develop those areas. But when they go to the city and ask for support for it, they say, well, you want to build it, you have to build it with your money. So to Jerry's point is that, and what we've been advocating against is, it's already zoned. If the casino and the so-called hotel want to move forward, then they can do so. They go up to the 3rd floor at Tom Davy Square or go to the one-stop shop, get a building permit, and they can build tomorrow. They don't need the city. They don't need your tax dollars. They can build it on their own. So why are they waiting for us to consider moving forward with an arena when they can do it right on their own, with their own dime? Because they know well enough that they need us to pay the lion's share or the taxpayers to pay the lion's share so they can develop their lands. So who benefits? Just them. Yeah.
I just want to, because I find it interesting how we're always separating the economics from the environment. We have to stop doing that.
Yes.
Because because the cost of destroying our lake, drinking water, is going to be huge, and there's not going to be. There won't be a budget big enough to fix that.
No, and you're correct in
So
saying that.
so that's one thing. I know you're a money guy, and I appreciate that, and I really respect that. But we really need to bring that together, and start. And so no, they should not be allowed to build that on their own, even because it will destroy, it will tip the scale in Ramsey Lake. So no, there's no amount of money that they could make out of any of this that would be worth that, destroying our drinking water.
And I know this is Jerry's show, so I'm not going to take up a lot of the airtime, but you're correct on that. There's two components to it. Yes, it's the environmental, it's our drinking water, it's to protect it for the future of our kids, our grandkids, but also this development is going to hemorrhage our children paying taxes on something for decades to come. So some people are well off, they can afford a tax increase. A lot of Sudburyans can't afford it. If you look at our population, 1/3 of our population is retired. 1/3 is within 10 years able to retire. So that's a sizable portion of your population that you're relying on to make this happen. And where's the money going to come from? And I know Tony, who's in my ward, he said to me, and I know his family very well, and he said, I raised 7 kids in my home. I didn't ask the government for any money. Now it's me and my wife. And my income, what I'm getting from the government, is not matching the increases that are happening year after year. So you're basically pushing me out of my home. So we talk about taking care of our seniors, taking care of the citizens of Greater Sudbury. This is not taking care of our citizens. This is, to me, like a pipe dream. And everybody's entitled to have their dreams, but can't be on the backs of local citizens and local taxpayers. So that's all I want to say, Jerry.
Darn, you say it so eloquently. I'm so rough the way I say it. But Hazel, back to his, I'm going to repeat this thing again. Is in the end, burying these bogs and so forth. And today, the failure of these dams, it's everyday stuff. So, you know, what makes Sudbury special here? Yes, sir.
My name's Alf Nichols. I'm a railroader.
Cool.
And I worked for the railroad for 37 years.
Cool.
I think that you have the wrong referendum.
Okay.
I think you should have a referendum to go back the way we were. I have a camp out in the Cookagami Lake Road.
Okay.
We're further away than Carche. We pay city taxes.
Yes.
The road is maintained by 3 different organizations. That same road that goes out to my camp. Okay? We go through Marks Day Warren to come back on a gravel road, 17 kilometers out of Sudbury, to say you're in the city of Sudbury.
I know where you're at.
I say, yes, I know you do. And I know you've heard it before. And I know a lot of people have heard it before. But what I'm saying is, the referendum that should be had is go back to the way we were, and believe me, they wouldn't be building any damn arena when they're closing one in Capreol. They're trying to build 2 in the valley. How stupid can we be?
Yeah, well,
You know what? When you're paying money, and you, like you said, $300 million, who's going to pay for that?
Exactly.
I think it's about time we woke up, folks. And remember, it's the wrong referendum. The referendum needs to be go back, de-amalgamate.
I agree with you 100%. And ironically, you're talking about the arena. I try to be not too political tonight, but I'm not happy about that other arena because it sits square on the waterways that affects beautiful Ward 3. And they don't give a damn. Build another hockey arena on the water course to pollute the freaking Ward 3. That's a fact. The records show it, yes. So that's it. And as to referendum, well, myself and another councillor did try, and that didn't end well. Did I get tossed out that night, Tom?
No.
No, I didn't? Okay. All right.
Maybe we could take a couple minutes. We've talked about going to the flip side of the coin. We've heard what it means. We've heard how it's ill-defined. But what we haven't heard tonight is how much the dollar value is on that flip side. So what I'd like to do is share that with you. This is what it means.
I thought you were taking a break first.
Well, I could, but...
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Washrooms are right there. Coffee's there.
Okay.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
No more. I don't want to lose the audience.